Something's happening in Keystone right now that hasn't happened here in decades. The town is changing, the resort is changing, and the buyers paying attention are already moving on it. Let me show you what they're seeing. All right, I'm in Keystone, and I want to start right here at the base of this gondola because this is the most changed corner of this entire resort. And honestly, one of the most changed spots in all of Summit County right now. So I'm at Kindred Resort. It just opened May of 2026, and it is the largest real estate development in Summit County's recent history. 300 million. 3 buildings, 95 luxury residences, a 107-room hotel, restaurant, a full spa, slopeside valet, a heated pool, private club, all of it right here steps from the River Run gondola. And the lot it's sitting on, this sat empty for 50 years. Various different development teams tried to build something here over the decades. Kindred got it done. And it's fundamentally changed what this base area looks like and feels like. And honestly, what kind of town Keystone is. That's the story of Keystone right now. Things that hadn't happened in decades are happening all at once. The mountain just added 555 acres of brand new lift service terrain. The Bergman Express chairlift opened in 23-24 season, and it was Keystone's first terrain expansion in over 30 years. 30 years. And the town itself incorporated in February of 2024. Keystone is now officially its own municipality. The newest town in the state of Colorado. New government, new chapter, new identity. So when I say most buyers have an outdated picture of this place, I mean it. And the Keystone people think they know and the Keystone that exists right now are two very different things. So quick orientation. We're in Summit County. From Denver, you're looking at about an hour 40, hour 45 on I-70. You exit at Silverthorne and then you follow Highway 6 along the Snake River and you're here. It's actually one of the shortest drives to a major ski resort in Colorado. All right, I want to talk about the vibe here first because this is one of those things you really can't get from a Zillow listing or a Google search. You have to see it, and I'm going to walk you through it. River Run Village is the main hub of Keystone. This is where the gondola is. This is where you've got your restaurants, your shops, your après-ski energy. And the thing I love about this village is that it's a genuine plaza feel. It's designed around a pedestrian square. So when you're walking around here in the evening, there's people out, there's activities, there's outdoor fire pits going on in the winter. It's got that gathering place energy without being overwhelming. Now, it's not Breckenridge Main Street, and I say that not as a knock, it's just a different experience. Main Street Breck is a full downtown experience with blocks of restaurants and bars and boutiques. River Run Village, it's more curated, more contained. It's the kind of place where you run into the same people over a ski weekend, and by the end of the trip, you feel like you know everyone. That's the Keystone vibe. In terms of dining, the options here just got a serious upgrade. The classics are still here. Kickapoo Tavern is still the most known spot. Great happy hour energy, solid food. But Kindred opened in May of 26 and brought 4 new dining concepts right into the village, including Keystone's first sushi restaurant. That's new. That's the kind of thing that signals a resort growing into a different tier. And then in the summer months, the lakeside dining at Keystone Lake is honestly one of the most underrated experiences in Summit County. Sitting outside, the lake is right there. I've had some of my favorite evenings up here, right here at that lake. And you guys, this is the thing about Keystone that I think surprises people the most. This resort does year round. It's not a ghost town in the summer. Summer here is actually incredible. Keystone's home to some of the best festivals in the county. The Keystone Wine and Jazz Festival, the Bacon and Bourbon, Bluegrass and Beer Festival in the summer. They all draw big crowds. There's outdoor concerts and the Adventure Point, that's the mountaintop snow tubing hill at the top of the gondola. And you can actually tube up there in the summer too because of the elevation. There's mountain biking trails that go right off the gondola. In the summer, this village is genuinely alive. And the community feel, I'll give you a real example. Keystone has a strong regular visitor community, people who come back every season, who know the ski patrol by name. They have their favorite run and their favorite table at their favorite restaurant. It has that return visitor loyalty that only the best mountain towns earn. And when you own here, you become a part of that community. And that's not marketing copy. I've seen it happen. I've seen buyers that I've worked with who come back season after season, and it becomes a big part of their family story. Okay, let me clear something up because I get this question constantly, and there's a misconception I want to address before we go any further. People always ask me, is Keystone snow as good as Breckenridge? And the answer is yes, emphatically yes. Keystone sits at a base elevation of around 9,300 feet with summit elevations over 12,000 feet. This area gets a ton of snow. We're talking an average of around 230 inches a year. The snowpack up here, it's serious. Now, let me walk you through the seasons because if you're a second home buyer, this actually matters a lot for how you're going to use your property. Winter, mid-November through April. This is the season. Keystone actually has one of the longest ski seasons in Colorado. They typically open in mid-November and run through April. And they've historically been one of the first resorts in the state to open. Night skiing here is legendary. Keystone has the most extensive night skiing operation of any resort in Colorado. And if you haven't skied at Keystone at night, under the lights with fresh corduroy, it's honestly one of my favorite things to do in this entire county. I'm not exaggerating. Spring, April into May, you get these incredible bluebird days where the sun is absolutely blazing and the skiing is still great, but you're out there in a t-shirt. Spring skiing is just an experience here that's hard to describe in a joyful way that's different from winter skiing. And the transition from ski season into summer can be pretty quick. Things green up pretty fast at this elevation. Summer, June through September, genuinely beautiful, hands down. Wildflowers in July, up high. I mean, I've been up hiking above Keystone in mid-July, and the wildflower blooms are just gorgeous. Temperatures are, I don't know, in the mid-70s during the day. It's perfect hiking and biking weather. And the afternoon thunderstorms, which are real, I'm not going to pretend that they don't happen. They roll through here quickly, and they're actually kind of spectacular if you're watching them from a covered deck. Fall, this is the one that people don't expect. September and October up here, it's my personal favorite time of the year. The aspens turn, and I mean, they go full golden, and against the dark evergreens and the blue sky, it's one of the most visually stunning things I have ever seen. The crowds have thinned a bit, and restaurants are still open, and the air has this crisp, perfect quality to it. The locals love fall up here, and honestly, if you've never been up here in the fall, you're seriously missing something. Now, a few practical notes for new owners. Yes, it can snow at any time of the year at this elevation. I've seen June snowstorms. I've seen it snow in September. It doesn't last, but it happens. And if you're coming from sea level, give yourself a day to acclimate to the elevation. At 9,300 feet, the air is thinner. You'll feel it on the first day if you go hard. All right, this is a section where I could honestly talk for an hour, but I won't. I'll keep it short. But I want you to really understand what the outdoor life looks like up here. So let's start with the skiing because this is Keystone after all. 3 interconnected mountains. Durham Mountain is the front side where most people spend their days and where the village access is. North Peak is where the terrain gets more interesting. Steeper runs, good tree skiing, and Outpost is the back bowl. Big open terrain, breathtaking views, and some of the most fun expert skiing in Summit County. All in, Keystone has 3,148 acres of skiable terrain. That's a big mountain. And then there's Bergman Bowl. And you guys, this is something I genuinely get excited about because it just happened in the 23-24 season. Keystone opened Bergman Express, a brand new high-speed 6-person chairlift that unlocked 555 acres of high alpine terrain that previously you could only access by hiking at altitude. So most people never went. Now, you ride a lift to the top and you're skiing wide open bowls at 12,000 feet with views that are, I don't even know the words, they are just gorgeous. This is Keystone's first terrain expansion in over 30 years. 30 years. And it's the kind of expansion that puts this mountain in a completely different conversation than it was even 3 or 4 years ago. And here's what I love about the Bergman expansion specifically. It's not just expert terrain. There's mellow, welcoming bowl skiing up there that intermediate skiers can actually lap all day. The ski school is even taking beginners and intermediates up there now. That's genuinely rare for high alpine access, and it makes Keystone more of a family mountain in a way that it just wasn't before. Speaking of ski school, Keystone has one of the best in Colorado. Their kids programming is exceptional, and I've heard from multiple families I've worked with that Keystone was specifically where they or their kids learn to ski because the teaching culture here is genuinely supportive. And with Kindred now serving as the new home base for the ski school with a proper rental shop, lockers, and warm-up space right at the base, the whole experience is just cleaner and easier than it used to be. Beyond skiing, the Nordic Center. This is one of the things that separates Keystone from a lot of other resorts. The Keystone Nordic Center is one of the best in Colorado. Miles of groomed cross-country trails, snowshoeing, and in the winter they also have the lake. And you guys, this is wild. Keystone Lake turns into the largest Zamboni-maintained ice rink in North America in the winter. Not in the state, in North America. You can skate on this lake in the middle of the mountains, and it's completely surreal. I've done it with my family, and it's one of those things where you just think, how cool is this? Now in the summer, hiking and mountain biking take over. The resort opens the gondola for lift access biking, and the trail network up here is excellent, especially if you like downhill mountain biking. And then you have access to everything in Summit County. The Frisco Peninsula trails, the Dillon Reservoir for paddling and kayaking, the Snake River Greenway that runs through this area. You're surrounded by some of the best hiking in the state. You've got the 10-mile range, the Gore Range, Quandary Peak, which is a 14er accessible right from Breckenridge. All of it right here within reach. You know, one of the things I always tell buyers is that the outdoor lifestyle up here isn't just about skiing. It's a 12-month thing. And understanding how you personally want to use this property, when you want to come, how often, what activities you care about, that actually helps me steer you towards the right neighborhood and the right property type. So if you're still figuring that out, that's great. Give me a call. Let's talk it through. Okay, this is the stuff that nobody puts in the brochure. I'm going to tell you the honest local version of a few things. First, the altitude. It's real. I touched on this in the weather section, but I want to expand on it because it genuinely affects daily life. At 9,300 feet, you will feel things differently if you're used to Denver elevation or sea level. Alcohol hits harder. Hydration really matters. If you're skiing hard on the first day up here after months away, your body's going to remind you that you're at altitude. You got to drink a lot of water. Don't go too hard on day one. Sleep is sometimes rough the first night or second night. This is just the reality, but once you know it, it's totally manageable, but it catches a lot of people off guard when they don't expect it. Second, wildlife. This is not the suburbs. We have bears up here. We have moose. And I'm not saying this to scare you. I'm saying this because new owners who don't take it seriously sometimes have very memorable experiences with their trash cans. Bear boxes are a thing. HOAs have rules about food storage. Follow them. Bears in Summit County are genuinely not aggressive. They're opportunistic. But a bear that gets into a garbage can once will come back, and you don't want to create that situation. Third, I-70 on Sundays. This is the single most important piece of practical advice I give to every buyer who's considering Summit County. If you own up here and you're coming from Denver or the Front Range, Sunday afternoon is your nemesis. The traffic coming down the mountain on a Sunday can be genuinely brutal. The hack? Leave either before noon or wait until 7 or 8 at night. The people who learned this early love it up here. The people who fight Sunday traffic every single time start resenting the drive. And one more thing, the off season. Keystone has a brief quiet period in late October and early November before ski season starts. And then another one in late April and May after the snow melts. Some restaurants close, some activities just go away. This is normal for a mountain resort town, and it's actually kind of nice if you embrace it. But if you're planning a trip specifically in that window and expecting a full resort operation, just check ahead of time on what's open. I'm gonna pause for just a quick second. I'm not making these videos for fun. I'm making them because I genuinely wanna help you make the best decision for your life, your family, and your financial future. My goal with these videos is to provide enough real, honest information so that when you're ready to make a move, you just give me a call. I'm not just gonna help you find the right home. I'm gonna help you find the right town, the right neighborhood, and the right fit for your goals. So give me a call. My number's in the description section below. All right, let's get into the neighborhoods because this is where it gets really interesting. And I want to start right here because River Run is honestly the heartbeat of Keystone. River Run is the most centrally located, most amenity-rich neighborhoods in the entire resort. Your steps from the gondola, restaurants, shops, the village plaza, it's all right here. And if you're looking for the kind of ski property where you roll out of bed and you're literally clicking into your skis within 5 minutes, River Run is the answer. Property types here are predominantly condos ranging from more traditional 1 and 2 bedroom units all the way up to what's now the flagship of the entire market, Kindred. And I want to spend a minute here because Kindred is the real story in River Run right now. Kindred's a $300 million, 3-building development sitting literally steps from the River Run gondola. You've got luxury residences across 2 towers, a hotel, multiple restaurants, Keystone's first sushi restaurant. You've got a full-service spa, year-round heated pool, valet parking, ski valet storage, and a private club. Forbes actually covered this twice, and I want you to hear what they said because it matters. Back in early 2024, they called Kindred one of the most high-profile non-terrain additions in American skiing and said Keystone was quickly becoming elevated to the next big thing in the ski industry. And then in December 2025, they came back and ranked Kindred first on their list of the most game-changing new hotel openings of the season and wrote that Keystone was, and I'm quoting here, arguably the biggest and best ski resort in the nation lacking a luxury ski in ski out option. Not anymore. That's Forbes, not a local blogger, not a local real estate brochure. When a publication like that says a market is changing, buyers who are paying attention, they move. Pricing in Kindred, as of today, 2-bedroom units starting around $2.5 million, 3 and 4 bedrooms are in the $4 to $5 million range. These are luxury condos and the only true ski in, ski out luxury product in Keystone's history, and some of the best slope-side real estate in all of Summit County. Beyond Kindred, River Run has a full range of more traditional condo options. 1 bedroom starting in the mid 400s to 500s. 2 bedrooms in the 700s to over $1 million, and the whole neighborhood benefits from Kindred's presence even if you're not buying into Kindred itself. Better dining, better energy, a more elevated base area experience for everyone who owns here. One thing I always make sure that buyers know before they fall in love with a River Run unit, there is a 2% transfer tax on the sales price when you purchase here in River Run. On a $700,000 condo, that's $14,000 at closing. On a $2 million Kindred unit, that's $40,000. It doesn't change the math for most buyers, but it absolutely needs to be in your budget before you make an offer. Nobody likes surprises at the closing table. The short-term rental income potential in River Run is real. Ski in, ski out commands a premium on rental platforms, and proximity to the village means guests don't need a car. If you're building a vacation rental strategy, River Run has the ingredients, but you still need to verify licensing, work with a strong local property manager, and model conservatively. I'll always say that because it really matters. And actually, if you want to know specifically which buildings in River Run have active short-term rental licenses right now with rental history and their income projections, that's the kind of granular detail I can pull for you. Give me a call and I'm happy to walk you through it. Now, I want to take you to a completely different part of Keystone because this one is the neighborhood that I think surprises people the most. This is for the buyer who wants mountain living without the resort core energy. East Keystone and the Ski Tip Ranch area feel different from River Run. They're quieter, they're more residential, they're tucked into the trees, you've got mountain views, more space around you, and the property types reflect that. Townhomes, high-end cabins, luxury single-family homes. This is where you get more square footage, more privacy, and that true mountain home feel that's hard to replicate when you're in a condo village. Ski Tip Ranch has some real history to it. It started as a stagecoach stop in the 1880s and eventually became Colorado's first ski lodge. Now, it's a bed and breakfast lodge and one of the more acclaimed restaurants in Summit County. Owning in this neighborhood means you've got that kind of character and history right in your backyard, and that's pretty rare. Settlers Creek is one of the signature developments in this part of Keystone. Townhomes set in the pines in the Ski Tip neighborhood with a community pool, hot tubs, and hiking and biking trails right out your door. And if you want to step up to something a little more private, here at the estates at Settlers Creek are single-family homes that actually sit along the Snake River. That's a completely different ownership experience and a different price point, but worth knowing about if you're looking for that true mountain home feel with the river right there. And while we're in this part of Keystone, I want to mention two more communities that don't always get talked about but deserve a look. The Alders and Townhomes at the Alders. The Alders is a premier single-family neighborhood next to the Snake River and wetlands, close enough to the river run that you can walk or hop on the shuttle to the gondola. Custom homes from 4 to 6 bedrooms, genuinely high-end product here. And the Townhomes at the Alders are 3-bedroom duplexes about a half-mile east of River Run. Well-built, low HOA dues, good value for what you get in this part of the market. So, who's this whole East Keystone area for? Families who want more space and a quieter setting. Second homeowners who want to actually feel like they're in the mountains, not in a resort hotel. Buyers who prioritize privacy and mountain views over steps to the gondola convenience. And people who have had the river run experience in condos and are ready to step up into something with more room and more character. Pricing here is interesting because you're getting significantly more square footage for the money compared to the ski in ski out river run. Townhomes in East Keystone and Ski Tip area can range from around the mid 900s all the way up to $2 million range, depending on the size and finish level. Larger luxury single-family homes go higher from there, around the $3 to $6 million range. But when you're comparing a townhome here compared to one over in River Run at comparable prices, the square footage and privacy difference is significant. This area also has that 2% transfer tax. Okay, if you've watched me talk about Keystone Lake earlier in this video, the biggest Zamboni maintained ice rink in North America, here's where you can actually live on that lake. And I want you to see this because it is genuinely stunning. Lakeside Village is centered around Keystone Lake, and the views here are something else. In the summer, the lake is shimmering. People are out paddleboarding, kayaking right outside, and in the winter, it's a glittering ice rink. The whole area has this magical storybook quality to it. I have shown properties in Lakeside Village on January afternoons when the ice was just perfect and the sun was hitting the mountains just right. Buyers will just stop mid-sentence because they can't believe what they're looking at. It is just that amazing. Property types here are condos and townhomes. It's a slightly quieter neighborhood than River Run. You're not right at the base of the gondola. You're a short shuttle ride away, and that actually works in your favor if you want resort access without the resort core noise and foot traffic. The conference center is nearby, which means Keystone Lake area sees year-round event activity, which is great for rental demand outside of ski season. And this is honestly one of my favorite things about Lakeside Village. You get a very different ownership experience here, depending on the season. Winter is magical and active. Summer is peaceful and just beautiful. It's a property that earns its value across multiple seasons in a way that feels very balanced. Pricing for condos in Lakeside Village ranges from roughly the 500s for one-bedroom units up through 900 to $1 million for larger, better positioned 2 and 3 bedroom units with lake views. The lake view premium is real and it is justified. The shuttle situation here is something I walk buyers through specifically because the stop locations and frequency can vary depending on the season, and it's one of those details that matters more than you'd think. It's something that I always cover when I'm taking someone through Lakeside, so if you want to talk through the logistics of any of these neighborhoods, I am so happy to help. Just give me a call. Moving west from Lakeside, you've got a mix of newer and older condos. Brightwood at Keystone just completed construction. These are new condos with mountain modern finishes, underground parking, and access to the Keystone Lodge and spa amenities right next door. That's a serious package. New Seasons at Keystone is another newer construction project in this corridor. I just sold one of these and my buyers couldn't be happier. You've got the Snake River surrounded by a beautiful setting with pine trees right across from the lake. No rental restrictions, good value for new construction. And then the classic older inventory. You've got Flying Dutchman, Wild Irishman condos. These are well known in the market and some of the more accessible entry points into Keystone ownership. You continue down Soda Ridge Road and things get more residential. Single family homes, more space, quieter streets. And then further west, you hit Keystone Ranch. Completely different world. Keystone Ranch is one of the most premier neighborhoods in all of Keystone. Custom homes wrapped around a stunning Robert Trent Jones Jr. golf course neighborhood. And the Keystone Ranch restaurant right on site, which is consistently one of the best dining experiences in Summit County. This is a neighborhood for the buyer who wants privacy, mountain views, and a true mountain home feel. You're a short drive to the slopes, but this neighborhood has an identity that goes well beyond skiing. Honestly, in the summer especially, Keystone Ranch is one of the most special places to own in this area with hiking and biking trails right out your back door. Pricing across this whole corridor is pretty wide. On the newer condo side, Brightwood starts around the $700,000 range and goes up from there. New Seasons around the $1.5 million range and up. The older inventory, like Flying Dutchman and Wild Irishman, averages in the $600,000 range, and Keystone Ranch Custom Homes, you're typically looking around $2 million and up, depending on the size, condition, and position on the golf course. Honestly, there's something for a lot of different buyer profiles out here, which is one of the things that I just love about Keystone. And right on the river golf course, don't overlook the Pines at Keystone. These are condos, and some of them with direct golf course and Snake River views, indoor pool and hot tubs, bike path right out the back. It's an older product, but well located. 1-bedroom units in the $600,000 range and no transfer tax makes this one of the more compelling value plays in this part of the market. Okay, now this neighborhood. This one is for the purist, the skier who doesn't care about a fancy village, who just wants to snap into their skis and go. This area is Mountain House. Mountain House is Keystone's original ski base. It's been here since the beginning of the resort, and there's a lot of character to it. Classic mountain architecture, slopeside condos, a feeling of history and authenticity that you don't always find in the newer resort developments. This isn't the most polished neighborhood in Keystone. It's definitely on the older side in terms of building stock, but for a specific type of buyer, that's exactly the point. Ski and ski out access here is as direct as it gets. You're right at the base of the mountain. The ski school operates at a Mountain House, so families with young kids who are learning to ski, this is so convenient because you can walk your kids right to the lessons and be back on the mountain yourself without a long walk or a shuttle ride. That convenience has real daily life value that's easy to underestimate until you've lived it. The lodging and condo options here tend to be older and more traditional. Ski chalets, classic mountain condos. They're not going to have the high-end finishes of Kindred, but they're also not priced like Kindred. Mountain House offers some of the more accessible entry points into Keystone ownership, particularly for buyers who want ski and ski out access without the luxury price tag that comes with the newer river run developments. Pricing here starts lower than River Run. Studio and one-bedroom condos can come in at about the $350 to $450 range, depending on the unit and the condition. 2 bedrooms in the $700 to $800 range and up. And if you're willing to buy something that needs some renovation, there are opportunities in Mountain House that don't exist in some of the other neighborhoods because the building stock is older. That can be a really interesting angle for the right buyer. All right, so who is Keystone actually for? It's for the investor owner who wants ski and ski out access and a built-in rental demand engine. And here's something worth knowing. The town of Keystone issues short-term rental licenses. That's not the case everywhere in Summit County, so it matters. River Run and Mountain House are particularly strong for this profile. It's for the family first buyer who wants a great ski school, year-round activities, the Nordic Center, the ice rink, Adventure Point for snow tubing on the top of the mountain, the bike park in the summer, the festival calendar that runs all season long. This resort is built for families in a way that not every mountain town is. It's for the legacy home buyer, the person thinking beyond the ski season, who wants a place their family comes to in summer and fall, who wants to build something up here over time. Keystone's year-round ecosystem supports that vision as well as anywhere in Summit County. And honestly, it's for the Breckenridge buyer who wants to take a second look, because when you compare what you're getting dollar for dollar, Keystone makes a really strong case right now. And with everything that's happening here, that gap is not going to last forever. And figuring out exactly which neighborhood and property type fits your specific situation, that's what I do. Give me a call, text me, send me an email. My info is in the description section below. I would love to help you figure that out. If you want to know more about some of the other towns in Summit County, just check out some of my other videos. I'll see you in the next video.